3.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Zainab Sarfraz Ahmed, the editor of the series Caste Matters Much. In our 25th episode, we are going to discuss, among other things, Dr. Bhupen Hazarika's song and Indus Water Treaty.
विस्तार है अपार, प्रजा दोनों पार, करे हाहाकार निशब्द सदा। ओ गंगा तुम, ओ गंगा बहती हो क्यों? विस्तार है अपार, प्रजा दोनों पार, करे हाहाकार निशब्द सदा। ओ गंगा तुम, गंगा बहती हो क्यों? नैतिकता नष्ट हुई, मानवता भ्रष्ट हुई, निर्लज्ज भाव से बहती हो क्यों? विस्तार है पार, प्रजा दोनों पार, करे हाहाकार निशब्द सदा। ओ गंगा तुम, ओ गंगा बहती हो क्यों?
क्या बात है, बहुत बढ़िया।
वहाँ जैसे when he sings old man river, you don't say nothing, you just keep rolling along. तो यहाँ आके इंडिया में आके आसाम के ब्रह्मपुत्र के किनारे देखा कि सब
तहस नहस हो रहा है,
सब ठीक नहीं हो रहा है,
जी।
सब गड़बड़ है, इसलिए लिखा विस्तीर्ण पाररे असंख्य जनरे हाहाकार শুনিও নিঃশব্দে নীরবে বুঢ়া লুইত তুমি বুঢ়া লুইত বোৱা কিয়? বুঢ়া লোহিত, that means বুঢ়া Brahmaputra. Here a Mississippi man, a cotton planter sings, old man river, you don't say nothing but you just keep rolling along.
जी।
तो हम भी कहें कि वो ब्रह्मपुत्र, वो बूढ़ा लुइत, we call him बूढ़ा लुइत, you know. He is the only man river in India, you know.
जी, बिल्कुल।
ब्रह्मपुत्र है।
Dear viewers, through his song, Dr. Hazarika is lamenting the woeful decline of human values by asking the Ganges why she continues to roll or flow amid such growing human misery. Although Dr. Hazarika sang this song 40 or 50 years ago, it is still quite relevant because of a variety of reasons. In my view, his song presents or constitutes a sardonic comment on the present day Indian government's approach to water or Indus Water Treaty.
While this is in the future, India can do three things at present. One, not share hydrological data of flows. Such data is critical for Pakistan to plan for irrigation, hydropower, drinking water, and flood forecasting. Two, not notify Pakistan about the projects it is building on the western rivers, and neither accept visits by Pakistani officials. Three, flush silt from its dams without prior warning. Flushing is a method that is used to clear sediments from dams by flushing water through the bottom outlets and pushing the sediment downstreams. Indus and its tributaries carry large levels of silt that collect in dams. Sudden flushing of this silt could have significant consequences downstream.
Viewers, you must have noticed that the BJP government, through its Godi media, has already disclosed its short-term plan in relation to Indus Water Treaty. It hasn't said anything about the waters that it receives from China as yet. As we all know, that China has absolute control over 30% of fresh waters of India through the Indus, the Brahmaputra, and several tributaries of the Ganges.
Important point over here, Victor. Are you telling me that Beijing and the thought process in Beijing is that should India use the Indus Waters Treaty to leverage or arm twist Pakistan, that Beijing will come to Pakistan's rescue and as an upper riparian in the Brahmaputra do what it needs to do to ensure that India does not do what it intends to do with Pakistan?
Well, a couple of points. One is that China will never do what India is doing against the people in Pakistan, try to deny water in the Indus River to the people in the downstream in Pakistan. Now, I understand between India and Pakistan, there was a water treaty involving the waters in the Indus River. Now, despite of the commitments by the Indian government is still threatening and also actually doing the diversion of the water. Now, this to me is a very serious problem. Now, for the three countries, China, India, and Pakistan, and as far as Pakistan is concerned, it mostly involved the water in the Indus River in the west. But between China and India, we actually share the same rivers, both in the west as well as in the east, mostly Brahmaputra, as you call it, and Yalu as we call it in China. I think either between China and India or between India and Pakistan, and because China is on the upper stream for the Indus River, we need to really talk it out rather than see the very tragic situation involving denying water in the Indus River to the people in the downstream in Pakistan. Because in China, we have a saying, thousands of years old, don't do unto others what you do not want others do unto you. China is on the upper stream. That's a reality. And I do not want to see India in the midstream doing funny things against the people in Pakistan on the downstream. And peaceful cooperation will be absolutely necessary between China and India and between India and Pakistan as far as water in these mighty rivers is concerned.
Reviewers, in my view, India seems to have purposefully ignored the fact that blocking or disrupting water flows to Pakistan will amount to the economic strangling of the lower riparian, which will be considered by Pakistan as one of the 4 nuclear thresholds.
Nuclear weapons. Kidwai also went to the extent of giving out 4 red lines for use of Pakistan's nuclear weapons. As we all know, their program is specific to India. So he said, there is a space threshold. That means just in case of a war, India-Pakistan war, if the Indian military is able to capture a lot of territory and crosses that red line, then the nuclear factor comes in. The other, he spoke of military threshold. If the majority of Pakistan's nuclear conventional capabilities are destroyed in war, that's a threshold. Third, he said the economic strangling of Pakistan by India. And the fourth is domestic destabilization by India. So these are the red lines he gave.
Air, sea and undersea platforms. The long-range Shaheen-3 with a range of 2750 kilometers. The Ababil with a multiple independently targeting re-entry vehicle, the MIRV capability. By 2011, the entire spectrum of nuclear weapons was covered horizontally and vertically. India's vast eastern and southern geographical dimensions, including its outlying territories, were fully covered by Pakistan's various nuclear weapons. Today, alhamdulillah, Pakistan's full spectrum deterrence capability, while generally remaining within the larger philosophy of credible minimum deterrence, comprises horizontally of a robust tri-services inventory of a variety of nuclear weapons, a triad if you may. It is held on land with the Army Strategic Force Command, at sea with the Naval Strategic Force Command, and in the air with the Air Force Strategic Command. Vertically, the nuclear spectrum encapsulates progressively increasing destructive weapon yields and range coverage at 3 tiers: strategic, operational, and tactical, to cover India's vast eastern and southern geographical dimensions, including its outlying territories.
Dear viewers, as you have noticed that Dr. Hazarika has spoken of the rivers, mighty rivers, the Brahmaputra and the Ganges in his song. In my view, the present day government in India, the BJP's government, must pay heed to what he said some 50 or 60 years ago and try to draw a lesson or two from his lament. من أبو سرفراز أحمد يا ربوت الوجدة كراچي Pakistan أنا سرفراز أحمد نائب رئيس التحرير الجديدة كراچي. I'm thankful to Zainab Sarfraz Ahmed for her highly valuable support to this initiative. Caste matters much.